Love it or hate it, you cannot run a legitimate construction business without it. What am I talking about? Bookkeeping for your contracting business. I'm going to be sharing with you 4 different things you need to know in order to run a successful construction business. So the first thing that we need to know about bookkeeping for a construction business is what are the benefits, what are the pitfalls. So essentially, if you are not running proper bookkeeping, things are a mess and you're not structuring your different incomes and expenses in the right way, you're essentially sailing blind. You're the captain of the ship, you're the head of your business, but you have no idea, what's coming up next. You're in the dark, you're sailing blind, an iceberg, a large amount of debt, some cash flow issues, things can jump out and wreck you and wreck your business. So that's the first thing we want to avoid by doing proper bookkeeping. Second thing that you need to know about the benefits and pitfalls is decision making. You cannot make proper decisions from a business perspective if you don't know where your finances are at. Just having money in the bank doesn't mean it's the right time to go purchase some equipment or hire a bunch of new guys or try to scale your business. So without knowing your specific numbers with your bookkeeping, you'll not be able to make proper decisions for the future of your business. And then the next thing would be just simply having enough money, right? And knowing where your money is going, making sure that, again, you're not taking on some debt or getting ahead of yourself and forgot, I got to pay taxes at the end of the year and I've got no money saved up for it. So just simply looking at your bookkeeping and having it in order is going to give you some confidence to run your business properly. So the second thing that you need to know about bookkeeping for your construction business is automation, right? Myself included, I don't want to do bookkeeping. I have. A business owner should be preoccupied with. Generally, you're going to be hiring a bookkeeper, hiring some financial team to take care of this, whether it's in-house or just contracting a company to do it. And you're going to want to connect all your accounts with your bookkeeping software. So we're talking about automation. I'd say every software that you're going to have for bookkeeping is going to be able to link to your bank accounts, to your credit cards, to whatever financial institutions that you're banking with and running your organization with, so that all of that data is pulled into the accounting software, and then it just needs to be categorized. Payroll and time tracking, again, should be automated. Just running your payroll, you're going to have someone that's going to be doing it. So they're going to have a system with your software, but it should be automated in that you have delegated this to your bookkeeper or somebody that takes care of the admin of your business. And time tracking of your employees, that should all link directly into your accounting software. You should not be having to, tabulate a bunch of hours for employees or sending pictures or texts or whatever. You should have some sort of software, some sort of system in place. So it's all automated. Jobs are tagged. Where the different expenses of your business are towards certain projects, or whether it's overhead. That should all be automated. And then cost codes and estimating. Again, your estimates should be automated to link in with your accounting software, or at least have some sort of a system with your admin team so that you can just pull stuff across from, meeting a client, creating an estimate, goes into the bookkeeping, expenses are tracked according to your budgets, and everything is systematized and, smooth process and running efficiently. If you've got breaks in this system, it's going to be taking up a ton of your time. You're going to be wasting your time on admin and trying to figure out, change orders or who paid what, where, how much. If you lost money on a job, maybe you don't even know where your money is going or where clients' money is going. So if clients get a sense that you don't really have a bookkeeping system or a way of tracking, expenses and all this, it's going to give them a bad feeling, and they'll be a little uneasy to do business with you if you don't know yourself where costs are going on their project. So that's automation. The third thing that you need to know is your key financials. So you should be reviewing this very often. I'd say at least weekly, if not bi-weekly. Some very key financials would be your profit and loss, right? You need to know, am I making money? How much money? Is it up or down compared to last year at this time? Where are things at? The balance sheet, what's the value of your business? What's, your accounts receivable, accounts payable? Where's your debts at? Your assets, all the different parts of your business. You're going to find that on your balance sheet. Cash flow. very important. I've been there. I know other people have too, of where you have payroll coming up on Friday and you're looking at your bank account and it's not looking good. And you're like, how did I get here? Right? How did this happen? Well, some proper, proactiveness. You could have foreseen that you're going to have a crunch and maybe, collected on some accounts payable or accounts receivable, collect on some of those, or not purchased, a bunch of materials that you needed in order to pay payroll. So keeping track of all that. I can remember for myself when I used to do my bookkeeping myself for many years as a subcontractor, small operation. I had a couple of guys. As we expanded and grew and I got busier, I simply didn't have time. It got neglected for, months at a time. I would check in on a bit, but I wasn't really paying attention to doing it properly. Finally, I hired someone to clean up my books and it was an eye-opener, big surprise. And honestly, I kind of didn't want to know more or less because I just been, pushing sales and productivity and production and taking care of clients, that it was the last thing on my mind. But I knew that I was falling behind and I needed to see where things were at because I just didn't know where my business was, if I was profitable. I knew lots of money was coming in, but I didn't know if I was actually making any money at the end of the day. Needless to say, got the books cleaned up, took a while, was a process, had a bookkeeper in place, and it became very evident that I was, losing money here. Things weren't stacking up the way that I thought it was, and I had to kind of clean house and change things around and realize that I would have been in some pretty big, trouble if I would have left things for too long. So extremely important to check your key financials. Another thing is overhead and cost of goods sold. So overhead, what's your burn rate every month? Whether you're doing $0 in sales or $200,000 in sales every month, what is your overhead that you're going to be spending regardless, right? You need to know what your burn rate is and your overhead per job. Make sure that you're collecting the right amount of overhead for the sales that you're doing in order to keep the lights on and keep the wheels rolling on your business. Cost of goods sold, you should understand what it is, and your bookkeeping should be categorized in a way that you can easily see your cost of goods sold, all the line items, your labor, your materials, all that kind of stuff, as well as easily see the overhead in your bookkeeping. So all the expenses that are not tied to like a specific job or to production. So if that sounds confusing, ask your bookkeeper, ask your accountant. Myself, I just know this from a business standpoint and I've done it myself. I'm not, a certified bookkeeper, accountant, or anything like that. I just know enough from running enough businesses and seeing, helping coach other clients through it. Usually it's one of the first things when I coach new clients, is we clean up their books and get a real sense of their numbers and like, okay, great. You want to scale, you want to build, ramp up sales, or maybe you just want to get more efficient. Well, we need to see the numbers. What can you afford right now, right? Can you afford to put money into advertising? If you ramp up, are you actually profitable? If you're scaling a non-profitable business, you're just going to be that much more not profitable. So it's a horrible idea if you don't have your finances in place, if you are not running an efficient, effective business to scale. It's the worst thing you can do because you're essentially just going to build more debt and more of a disorganized and crummy business. So make sure that these are in place before you start to look at expanding and growing and, changing things up. All right. Number 4, personal budgeting. You should be doing this for yourself. You should be doing your own bookkeeping personally outside of your business, or have a bookkeeper or someone doing it for you. Know your monthly budget. Know what you can afford, because if you start spending money and thinking that, I'm just going to buy a new car, new boat, new house, go on a trip. I've been waiting, 10 years to take the family on this vacation to, around the world or wherever you want to do. And it seems great because you got a lot of money in the bank. But if you're not watching your finances and get in the habit of just spending because you think times are good and you're creating money in your business, you can run into big problems. And you should know what your personal finances, personal budget needs to be. Try to eliminate expenses and make sure that you're, living inside your means and that you are wealth building, right? The profit that you're pulling from your business. It should be, you should have your owner's draw that's taking care of your monthly expenses, and you should know how much that is, whether it's a few thousand or a few tens of thousands, depending on your lifestyle and your business. But you should know what that is and live inside your budget. And then there should be a healthy chunk of profit that you're pulling out of the business and you're putting into wealth building. So this could be, long-term for retirement, investments, maybe, someday starting a different business or whatever. But you should be pulling money, profits out of your business and putting that into wealth building long-term. That's how you become wealthy. And that's how you become unbreakable as far as not being reliant on the income just from your business, but you actually have passive investments that can provide you the lifestyle and the income you need should something happen to your business. So if you take care of these 4 points, you're going to be in an amazing financial position. Get your bookkeeping right, get your finances right. If you want help with this or more details about specifics and how to set these systems up in your business, reach out to me. There's links in the description below. There's also links to connect with me, as well as build a business that works without you. Free course that you can download. Get the course for yourself. It's a wealth of information in there, how to start systematizing your business, how to build a business, right? You've been building houses, building whatever, doing electrical, plumbing, concrete, whatever you do for a living in your business. Learn how to build a business, not just build houses. All the best. Take care of your finances.